Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Cedar Doodles. I'm Rachel, and if you're new here, we're all about raising calm, connected companions and bringing you along through every stage of puppy development. Today we're following our Bernedoodle babies through one of my favorite parts of early foundational work. What is that, you may ask? It's grooming. You see, as they're going to finish getting their last little snack off of mom right now, I'm going to make sure they're topped off, that they've got a full tank. That makes them less restless when we're grooming, especially with these clippers, and we'll get into it. We're going to start with my sweet Sloan. A lot of people think grooming starts when puppies go home or when they get their first haircut, but for us, grooming starts way before that. During these early developmental phases, puppies are learning what the world feels like. They're learning what's safe, what's normal, and what experiences become part of everyday life. So while today may look like baths, brushes, and a little blow dryers, what we're really doing is building confidence and trust. So let's go ahead and jump right in. You saw Sloan, and then you get to see Quinn, and of course there is Taylor right there. As we go through each of these puppies, I want you to pay attention to something. Look how calm they are. We're going to start with Taylor. I have always loved this girl because she looks just like her mom, and her mom means so much to me. It's important that puppies are learning that human hands are safe, that new experiences end well, and that they can trust and love us through these things that feel a little unfamiliar. This trust matters, and we're building this foundation while we're grooming them. Yes, these are vacuum clippers. I absolutely love them, and it can be overwhelming for the puppies at the same time. You can see these guys have tolerated this wonderfully. No one is getting upset. No one is getting overwhelmed. You can see this with Sloan right here. Isn't she doing so good? We're not focused on perfection. I'm not expecting them to stand perfectly still or instantly love every second. What I want to care about mostly is exposure. I want Sloan to feel these vacuum clippers on her paw pads, in her sanitary area, in the front of her paws, and realize it's not scary. We touch feet, ears, faces, tails, all the areas that groomers and owners will be working with later. This is the foundation of a well-rounded puppy, a puppy that's never had its feet picked up or never experienced someone grabbing its tail to lift it, even to do this grooming. We can have issues later on, so we make sure that we don't have this happen. When puppies learn young that grooming isn't scary, you prevent so many future struggles, not only with grooming, but actually being handled by their new families, owners, vets. I know every single one of those people appreciate having a well-rounded puppy that is okay with having this all done. So you can see she did such a great job. Let's move on to Quinn. Quinn has been growing like crazy, and these Bernedoodle developmental stages are honestly so fun to watch. Around this age, they become more curious and aware of the world around them. They start noticing sounds, movements, and routine. So with Quinn, what I'm looking for is her body language. If I see signs of stress, I pause. Maybe I let her reset. Maybe I give her praise or hold her for just a second longer. I want grooming to feel like something we do together, not something that's happening to them. And can you see how tolerant she is? You'd think this dog had been groomed multiple times, and in reality, this is their first time with these clippers. We've been trimming nails every week since they were born, yet this is a new experience for them. The vacuum makes its own sound, the clippers vibrate, and still she sits, very calm, very in tune with what I'm doing, and very connected with me. This means a lot, not only to me, but to each family looking for their puppy to see how wonderful their puppy does. Now let's go ahead and move on to our sweet Crew. Crew is a little more confident, and he's playful. You can already see his personality really starting to show up. People always ask me what we're doing besides cuddling puppies all day, and honestly, this is a huge part of it. We're building foundations. Foundations are all tiny moments that add up. Waiting, handling, recovering from something new. Right here like this with Crew, and learning how to settle. People think training starts with sit and down, but I think confidence starts long before that. You can see how confident little Crew Bear is right here. Yes, we're going through his paw pads that like some adults can't handle. We're cleaning his sanitary area. We're making sure that the sheath is cleaned, that there's no hair on it. We're cleaning his ears, and yet he just sits. He's so good. To show you just how calm these babies are, I'm going to show you how I trim their nails. Sometimes with the golden doodles, I pick them up and rock them, and yet these guys, I can just hold like a little baby doll. They just sit in my arm, and of course, they just hang out. They're so chill. They've done this quite a few times, so they've gotten used to it. Little Crew Bear is a perfect example of this. He just hangs out with me, and he's been super calm. If you do notice I have a little bit of blood on my hand, we accidentally got one of the quicks, which can happen when they're this young because their nails can grow very quickly. There's a play on words for you, right? We're gonna go ahead and move on to Quinn. Look how she just sits here while I go ahead and do this. She is so calm, so chill. We're gonna move on to the next one. Don't they almost not look real? The way they just hang out on my arms, kind of sit here like they're at a nail salon and doing everything so perfectly posh. I love this about them. I love their personalities and their well-rounded temperaments. We're already seeing this at such an early age. The best is yet to come. And I truly mean that. Look how she just lounges out while I trim her nails. She truly is a princess. I know her family's excited to meet her. Here's sweet Sloan, and she's the same way. We look through each of these nails. I want to once again impress upon you how amazing it is that they're not moving. They're not screaming. They're not trying to get away from me. They're not wriggling away. They're sitting on their bums in my lap and letting me trim their nails. This is quite impressive. Not only for this age, but for how big they are. This can be uncomfortable, and yet they don't show that. When they're done with their nails, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move them right into this pen, and they're going to figure out new textures and surfaces while I'm cleaning their real pen. I love this because this is the stage of play that we all wait for. They're out of the tiny toddler stage where they're not really getting around much, and they're moving, they're getting vocal, they're using their little voices, and they're trying to figure out new experiences. And of course, along for the ride is our wonderful piano. Once they figure out how to play this, I will let you know, and we'll watch them do their first music recital. They love the piano, and I love it because of the different textures and the sounds it makes. It's been such a wonderful thing for them, and I love being able to be a part of their lives, watch them grow and engage and learn about each other. As they start to build these relationships with each other, it sets the foundation for how they interact with their dogs throughout their life, how they interact with us, and how they will do overall as their little life progresses. Look how cute they are. In the middle, the one that looks like her mom is Taylor. You have sweet little Crew right there on the right, and you can see Sloan. She's decided she likes this soft Dalmatian. And if you see the little red and white girl, as a reminder, that's our sweet Quinn. She is so adorable. Each one of them have different personalities where you can see that Quinn is a little bit more vocal. She wants my attention. Taylor wants to come sit in my lap. Sloan wants to figure out something new. And of course, sweet little Crew, who will be known as Fletcher, is absolutely the boss of this group. He likes to make sure everything's okay, and he's always the first one out to see me. I love that so much about him. And look how beautiful he is. I love his blocky build. And he's going to sit out here in the side, his tail's wagging. He's ready for me to feed him and ready to see mom. He is absolutely wonderful. One of the biggest things that people don't realize is puppies learn so much through play. They're not learning every day by just sitting and doing nothing. They're learning with new experiences. They're learning with new engagement tools, new textures, new sounds, new colors, new lights. So we provide this for each of the puppies, making sure that they understand that each new experience is something that's okay. They can master it, they can learn from it, and they can go ahead and move on. You can see that these guys have been doing wonderfully in this new area. We've had no accidents, which is an important part of our potty training. This is just an area to keep clean and to go ahead and play in. And they're figuring it out, and they've done wonderfully well with it. I hope you guys have enjoyed so much watching these Bernedoodles, not only in their calm nature, but also this cute little playful side that they have. As you're watching them, I want you to drop in the comments who you thought stood out the most to you in personality, and what color would you choose. We've got blue merle, we've got red, we have the traditional Bernedoodle look, and of course, we have the beautiful black with the copper markings. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Rachel with Cedar Doodles. Until next time.